Dr. B and Mrs. B, empty nester lifestyle. Ba-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, la 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 la.
We are back. That's right. We are back to the Dr. B and Mrs. B Empty Nester Lifestyle Podcast Show. And this is podcast show number 37, Mrs. B.
37. Here we go, Dr. B.
Here we go, everyone. This is podcast show number 37. And it's entitled Road Trip and Holiday Travel to Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Yes.
Time.
It's our road trip and holiday travel to Washington, D.C. So I just felt like, Mrs. B, we just came back and we needed to get into our road trip because we've been doing road trips for several years. And now we're going to have a complete show on our road trip from start, middle to end, Mrs. B.
Yes, Dr. B came up with the idea. I thought, wow, that's a good suggestion. And we talked about it and thought, well, let's go a little deeper into the trip and the time we spent in each area. And that's good.
Yeah, well, thank you. And let me take care of some business. We want to thank all our podcast platforms, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Podcast, Google Play, Listen FM, and all the podcast platforms. And thank you for downloading us from all different parts of the world, quite frankly. And a little shout out, even in the U.S., I noticed that there was some extra downloads from the state of Virginia, actually Northern Virginia. And we were just in Northern Virginia and going traveling through Northern Virginia. So again, thank you for all those who are continually to download our fun podcast shows.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, audience. Thank you, listening audience. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and now let's do an overview of our road trip, Miss B. Because again, we have a very busy schedule, but we made the change of schedule to actually get in our car and travel from Winterville, North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, all the way to DC and back. And quite frankly, we've done this several times before, but to document the road trip, particularly for empty nesters, sometimes it gets kind of intimidating to get in the car and travel for several miles, but it was estimated to be about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And getting our self situated for a nice little trip, Mrs. B. How did you feel on that Sunday when I said, okay, it's Sunday afternoon, we left around about 11 o'clock, and I guesstimated we'll get there sometime before early evening. So how did you feel when we just left out, Mrs. B?
Well, it's been a week-long process. Right before we went out for a meeting. It was work and enjoyment as well as a lifestyle. Dr. B and Mrs. B, Empty Nesters Lifestyle.com. And so we went out for several purposes. So we took the road trip. That week, it was preparation, getting things together, what you need, suitcase, pack everything in your luggage. Travel light now.
Yep.
Travel much lighter now.
Much lighter. Thank you.
Take out the pieces, coordinate the pieces, your style, clothing, shoes, all that. Anything preparations that you need, any type of medicines, prescriptions,
Yep.
any other types of things that you're going to need to make you feel comfortable on the trip.
And matter of fact, Mrs. B, when you finally brought your bags out to the car, I said, is that all the bags you taking? I was surprised because usually Mrs. B has multiple bags. And I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I really pared it down.
Yay!
Over a number of years. I used to be so, very fastidious on travel arrangements and itinerary, which we still are very efficient and effective. But I used to create itineraries for the family.
True that.
Overseas and of course a USA base, and with our children too. They're all grown adults. But I Mrs. B created itineraries and down to the schedule as if you were getting it from a travel agency.
True. So now let's get back to the point. Get to a point. We got everything in the car. Okay,
Yes,
we got everything in the car, and we had minimum amount of bags. And then when we took off in the afternoon, it was a pleasant day, by the way. Always check the weather. Always check the weather where you're traveling.
Yes.
And it was a clear day, so I knew in the middle of the day there would be less traffic. It wasn't a holiday event on that past Sunday,
Hmm.
so we left out, hit the highway, and it was a straight shot and from 95 north all the way up through Virginia. And matter of, through Virginia, we took a little road stop at Virginia. By the way,
Yeah. I
we
mean,
took a road stop
it
a
was
stop
pretty.
at
It was pretty
Virginia,
good.
and right before when we came into Virginia,
It was a smooth ride.
it was a smooth. Hold on, and then we. I'm gonna. Uh, I'm laughing because it was a long road stop for Mrs. B when we just got into Virginia, and then we got back on I-95, and then got into. She's laughing. She don't remember. And then we the next couple of hours finally made it to outside of D.C. and got onto the loop of 395, and then headed to downtown D.C. And got to our hotel.
Yeah. Well, as we were going on the road, you look for things that's either going to slow you down, traffic, whatever is in front of you, what it looks like ahead. It was a really nice, beautiful day. And I got out a couple of the map driving apps. One was Google, one was Apple, the other one that people use is Waze. And so I looked at all those and we followed the different types of maps. Some were shorter distance, some were longer distance. So check what's available for you. And as we're going along the road, I'm looking at my phone, doing other different types of things. And Dr. B wants me to stay co-pilot, pay attention. Where am I
Be
traveling? How far?
supportive,
Be more.
co-pilot, pay
Yes, I've always
attention.
been 36 years of supportive
Yeah, she got a little
co-pilot.
bit wrapped up into
He's
all the
more of the
other stuff on the
driver.
phone.
Yeah, you're more of the driver. Yeah, I didn't get wrapped too much of stuff up on some good stuff was going on, some serious stuff, some things that were important and take care of, and some fun stuff. So yeah, I had to, be mindful of that
Be
too.
mindful, and
Be
then
considerate.
that's nice. So
Yeah,
I just said, hello, we're getting closer to DC. Then I
yeah.
said, okay, get out the one of the map apps,
Hmm.
and when we're on the loop, and because it comes to the movement in the city on the loops, it
Hmm.
happens pretty fast. You got to stay in
Yeah,
right
it
lane,
does.
left lane, da da
Well,
da da da
the
da. Then when you
construction
and I
was
said,
really good.
please get that MapQuest out. Let me hear it so I
Yeah.
can follow exactly what it says when you get in the
Get
city.
more particular as as the years go by. And yes, you do have to be cau- cautious on the road, of course. You have to be alert. And so you have to work with your partner, your driving partner, your husband and wife to know where you're going. Just
And
be,
it's all about defense driving. Is when you
yeah,
get in the
just be
city and you
more
get
of
in the
the,
loop, it's all about checking the other drivers to see what they're doing. As long as you stay in the right lane, but many times other drivers will be
yeah,
coming in and coming out, and as soon as
just,
you hit
yeah.
the outer portion of a city, usually the jumping from lanes happen much faster,
Yeah, I
and
was
so
going to
you got to be
say,
prepared for that.
be prepared, just be more focused. So that's the tip there. Be more focused and pay attention if you need to have on your glasses to see, if you need any
I
other
always
types
have my glasses on.
of devices you need to drive. Do that. Don't be concerned with whether you could do it or not. Don't be stubborn. Go ahead and do what you need to drive safely. And so as we were driving along, we saw various road repairs going on. That was good. Everything had advanced on the roadway in terms of the lighting, the signage, the traffic signs. That was important.
Let me just say, they finished the
Yeah.
construction coming up Northern Virginia into DC. They have the extra lanes. They have the extra express lanes, and they have the additional lanes. Now, since we've been through this area several times before, coming out of Richmond, Virginia, and then getting into the loop of Northern Virginia, They finally finished all of that construction and it drives very well. The delay time is not near as bad as it used to be
Oh
because it
my
was
goodness.
always jammed packed. But now, driving through there, the lanes, the loop is completed. I was saying to myself,
Yeah.
Lord have
New
mercy, thank you
size,
very much.
express lanes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is good. As we
And
were
they
going
made
in,
it very convenient
yeah,
now.
as we were going down the road and we were heading halfway, then we hit the Virginia line, and we cross the Virginia line. Then they have the, rest stops. Make sure you take everything you need for your rest stops, including any type of feminine products or any type of things you need for the bathroom and males. Make sure that you go to a stop that's clean. And we've been pretty lucky and take all those different types of things you need. And so as we were going to the rest stop, we headed on, got further on, and then as we went further into the city, as it gets more congested, had little stops along the way, but they cleared up because that was because of construction. And we enjoyed the scenery along the roadside. Take
Let
deep
me tell
breath.
you this quick joke. We stopped at a Wendy's right outside the loop, and I said,
Oh,
"Let's get
here we
something
go.
light to eat before we get into the city, so we can get our meal before." And I said, "Miss B, what do you want?" She said, "Well, since it's Monday," I said, "No, it's Sunday, Mrs.
I
B."
know you didn't go there.
Yes, I did. It's Sunday, Mrs. B. She was so
Because
wrapped up. She
I
thought it
was
was
so
a bit.
wrapped up,
She
I
was
felt like
so wrapped
it
up
was
thinking
feeling
that it
like
was
a
a
work
business
Monday.
lunch. She thought it was a work Monday. I said, "No, we're on a Sunday.
That's when
This
you
is
have to
relax,
cool it.
Mrs.
Lifestyle.
B.
This is
Yeah,
lifestyle
we're
cool.
empty nester lifestyle. We're relaxed. This is not work. Even though I went to a work conference, but
Yeah.
this was a
Hello.
Sunday. But this was a Sunday." I said, "Mrs. B, we're at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Let's get our meal."
We
And,
just stopped there and,
and,
finding
and then we
places
got back
along
on
the
the
way.
road.
Yeah, finding places along the way and getting a quick bite to eat. Mostly we eat healthy on the road. We'll either take snacks ahead of time, healthier snacks, protein, whatever you choose to take with you, fruit, vegetables on the road if we have time to do that. But also at the same time, we may stop and get something. Usually it's sugar free,
Yes, we do.
acid free, acid
Let's be
reduced,
real.
all
I
those things.
get
And
I
then sometimes we just
normally
enjoy.
get a fish sandwich and a
Yeah.
hamburger or something like
If we
that on
stop
the
at Mickey
road.
D's or McDonald's,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just telling you that we stopped at Wendy's,
Yeah, and
and then
healthier choices. Yeah.
many times less
I have to, Dr.
empty
B.
nesters. It's okay to have
Yeah.
fun time and not be as conscious of what you
Not all the
need.
time.
Not all the time. This is, like
Yeah.
I said, it's a Sunday. Relax. We don't have to do things on the spot. We can just splurge just a little bit because it's a little bit of our vacation. And I'm telling
Yeah.
folks, and which in the
But
reality,
what I was saying, Dr. B, for a moment there, is that yes, enjoy. We don't get hung up on it, but there are certain things that as you get older and as younger that we do, like certain things that we can eat, certain things we cannot eat, certain things that we pick up. We have selections and choices now that did not used to be when, you know, years ago or when our kids was younger years ago. On the road, you have different selections at different food restaurants and different drinks that you can now consume and not worry about whether or not you're going to have any digestive issues, any type of things while you're traveling on the road. And lots of hydration and lots of water. And it's very important. So that's what I was saying.
I got you,
Because
Mrs.
I
B.
have to eat a certain way.
I know, I
Yeah.
got you. Well, I was just saying that, it's okay to mention that I got a hamburger.
Yeah,
And
we like hamburger.
I like
We enjoy
hamburger.
hamburger and
Okay.
fish.
Why do I eat him? Because
And
it
chicken.
settles my stomach.
Yeah.
It keeps me awake. It's not heavy, but it gives me the meat that I need since I'm driving and have to stay alert and I drink my
Yes. You like to
coffee.
drive.
So, yes, Mrs. B. So we get into Washington, D.C. and get to our hotel. Made great time there. and stayed at the Marriott Marquis in Washington, D.C., right next to the Washington Convention Center, Mrs. B. So, how did you feel once we arrived to our hotel and got into our hotel? How did you feel once we were there in that part of DC? Because we've been there before, and it's dramatically changed in that part. It was beautiful. I mean, they had cleared out everything. There was new restaurants. There was new hotels in that area, and it was just a straight, nice drive up to the hotel. And they put our car into the garage, and we had a nice time in the
Yes, you
hotel.
just said it. When you get there, you came in, it's beautiful. Everything had had grown in terms of corporations, businesses, new buildings, constructions, companies. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, wow, this is a lot of change in a very short amount of time. And we've been going back and forth from DC for a while, but we still went back to travel. And the architecture, keep in mind, the corporations and the companies, the private companies and the organizations really focused on making the architecture very congruent and designed well, and as well as architecturally to the each area of those different types of sections and cities and districts. And I really like that. So as we drove in, we headed in and we saw all the new growth. We were thrilled about that, the new business growth. And then we head into the hotel. We had valet parking at the Marriott Marquis, and they went ahead and took the car in, and any type of luggage we needed to take up, concierge, as well as the front desk. So it was really wonderful, and we really thank the meeting as well as the workplace that we were doing on the road and on the go, and the hotel for our own empty nester lifestyle work that we were doing as well.
There you
And
go.
so that was really wonderful.
And the next day, many times, what I do when I go to a city, I said, "Come on, Mrs. B." After I went to my meetings and everything, I said, "Come on, let's go and walk around the several city blocks." And this is one of the things for a safety reason why I get familiar with area, no matter where I go, familiar with the local area. So I said,
Yes.
let's walk 2 city blocks down left, and it's like in a triangle, like in a rectangle. 2 city blocks
Yeah,
down
the
to the
area
left,
there.
2 city blocks down, and two
Yes.
city blocks, and then just getting your bearings and your orientation so you can see
Hmm.
the dynamics of the city. And in that part of the on Massachusetts Avenue is completely changed because I've been down there before, and it was pretty tough to go in that part of the city. But then they have blocked off a lot of different places, new corporations and everything, and made it very friendly for visitors. And so that's where I was able to see the different dynamics. And we walked around the city blocks, got familiar, even saw a CVS. I said, we're going to need to go to that CVS later.
Yes.
Mrs. B said, "What do you see CVS?"
We were walking. I had my
I
walking
said,
shoes on. I was
always.
styled up, but I was
Eh,
walking.
Yep. I said, "Come on, Mrs. B. We're going to be walking because it's hilly. It's hilly in that area." And
Yes.
so we went to a nice restaurant, Capital Burger for
Yeah, that
lunch,
was
and that
good.
was just beautiful. We're going to talk about that too.
Oh,
We're going to talk about that in another show. And then
yes.
after that, we walked. Let me just give a little quick
You know what
dynamics.
I learned, Dr. B, if you just want
Go ahead.
one moment? I learned something that even whatever style you have on, different types of styles, fashion people have in Washington, D.C., I learned that no matter how comfortable the shoes are, my shoes were comfortable. Everything I picked out, just like online, it was just great, was wonderful. What I should have known and what I learned was walk better on the incline. So I increased
Yep.
my treadmill inclination, the incline on the treadmill further. So it's important. Even though you look at a city block and you're going up and it looks like it's just a little slight bump, it turns into a hill if you haven't
Yep.
practiced walking on whatever shoes you have on, especially if you have on higher shoes or heels.
In essence, you're saying don't be fancy.
No,
Don't be
that's not
too
what I'm
fancy.
saying at
Or you
all. No,
saying, well,
don't
what
put
are you
words in my
saying?
mouth.
Okay, what are you saying?
I'm saying if you have on heels and they are comfortable, walk it, style it. If you have on flats like I had when I was walking and they're nice loafers and styled in different designs and patterns and shapes and colors, wear those. But it doesn't matter if you do not do the incline or walking and treadmill and bicycling like I do. But now I'm adding incline on the treadmill and on the walking to go up further. It doesn't have to be right away, particularly as you get older. It could be setting an incline starting from 1, 2, and 3, and then just continue to walk until you get used to the incline. You might do it for 30 minutes, and you might do it next time, a longer walk, but get used to the incline when you're going in the cities or hills. And instead of just the straight walk or the bicycling where you don't get that bump and incline and hill. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I learned. I was like, so when I got back, when we got back home, I was
No,
like,
no, wait,
I'm
wait.
pushing that
Don't, no,
incline
I
higher.
know, but that's back at home. But in the midst of
Yeah,
walking
it's
around,
something I learned.
Mrs. B was saying, "Are we really going to walk?"
I
I
learned.
said, "Yes, Mrs. B. We're going to walk up, down 2 city blocks, up 2 city blocks, and then
Yeah.
up a several beyond the Washington Convention Center on the back end of it, because I want to visually see the community around the Washington Convention Center, and it's very diverse, ethnically diverse. And then I
Yes, it
said
is.
we're right there on the edge
A lot
of
of
it, and then
cultures.
we took a left. Walked across the street, and then as soon as we got on the back end of Washington Convention Center, we saw the National Guard, three National Guardsmen
Yeah.
standing right there. And I said, "Hey," and I took their picture, and they waved back. And that was a very important element because they're
Yes.
there to protect the visitors, protect all the conventioners, and keep the area safe, and which was a good symbol and safety feature, because many times empty nesters will not go and travel to cities, but they made an effort to show security is very important.
Yes, it
It's
is.
okay. It was safe.
It was
So
safe
it was very much safer than
and
you would
safe
think it
now.
is.
Hmm.
And then we walked back to our hotel, and that was really a fun endeavor. But it was actually a
Yeah.
great exercise activity after we
Oh,
had a great
yeah.
time
I felt
eating
good.
out.
It was brisk and also, um, just like you said, yeah, I believe it, because there was a good partnership between not only the city, the District of Columbia, but also the National Guard and as well as the White House. So they worked together, initiatives and congressional, to really safeguard the city. And it wasn't any type of strife or anything like that. It wasn't any conflict. It was working together, saying what you can do and what you're able to do, and then get it done. Not
Get
all
it
this other
done. There was
stuff
no
in between.
conflict, and
While everybody stays safe.
everyone stays safe. But that's the reality of things, and when people can get along, and they did, and so everyone
Yeah.
was going about their daily business. So that was a fun part, really getting acclimated to DC and your immediate area. And so we stayed there for a couple of days,
Yeah.
and then we final day, I said, let's go to the Washington National Mall. So we got our car when we left out. Great time at the Marriott Marquis, and then we drove
Yes.
out and went directly to the Capitol building and the National Mall, Mrs. B.
Yes, we
How
did.
did you feel being back at that spot in which we had our kids, our three young kids at the time, on the mall
Oh,
playing
wow.
on a regular basis, like once a month, or it seemed like once a month, but every
Yeah.
once or so, we brought our kids when we lived in this area from 1999 to 2004. How did you feel being back now as an empty nester?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. We left, checked out of the hotel. I'll talk later about the wonderful dinner that we had at the hotel and the breakfast. But I felt really nostalgic. I felt
Nostalgic. That's what I wanted to hear. After all of this, I wanted to
happy
hear
about
that.
it. Yes. I felt nostalgic. I felt sentimental. I felt strong. I felt more mature and growth and wisdom. And I felt I had a lot of confidence, but more so self esteem in my life of discernment, decision making, and understanding of all the issues that are going on, whether it's DC or across America and around the world. And I really felt good about that. I felt gratitude that our family lived there. And then I felt gratitude that we raised our children going to different trips down to DC and the museums, and as well as the mall and visiting the U.S. Capitol building
We flew
inside.
kites down there. We
Yeah,
rode our
flew kites,
bicycles. They
bicycle
rode our
riding,
bicycles. We went to the Cherry Blossom
Cherry
Festival.
Blossom
We went to
Festival.
Lincoln Memorial. We did it all
We did
down
it
there.
all, and
And
we
it
even,
was very
yeah,
accessible when you live in the metropolitan. They made it so accessible.
much more so.
And
Yeah,
and we had no problems going down
libraries,
there at all.
memorials, yes, and even a White House tour. We
Went
had a
to the
White
White House tour
We took a
too.
White House tour years ago, and that was before 2008 to
That was
somewhere
1999.
1999,
That was
and
1999
somewhere,
during the Clinton administration.
yeah, and then Bush administration. So
Then
those
we went to the Bush
administrations came.
administration as well. So
And
again,
so, yeah, that was years ago, but still, we remember all of that. And that's our real life. That's what we do. And
it was magical. Let me just say, it was
you're
magical
gonna
to
say
be on the
magical, huh?
yeah. I'm gonna say magical. It felt, and you can see people
We're
still playing it.
firm,
It was magical.
concise.
I mean, it was no one bothered you. We were just having a fun time. It
Yeah.
seemed like and then I remember particularly when the snow came down, we rushed on down there, put the
Yeah.
kids in our van and parked by the Capitol building,
Yeah, we
and then
did.
just start playing in the snow. And you could see other people throwing snowballs,
Oh my
playing, making
goodness.
snowman,
Yes.
and to be on the National Mall playing with your kids. Let me just say this
Oh
as a
wow.
father,
Yes.
and it was just the greatest feeling that I can
Oh,
take my family and my wife and kids
yeah.
and just enjoy the environment and just and feel like a proud person, a proud African American, a proud American, just
Yeah.
celebrating spending time with my family. So that
Oh,
was
that's
it was
nice.
magical.
Oh, I mean, the wonderful times. We had 5 years there, vested, Dr. B at NIH, and all that wonderful time. And me as a mother, sharing our wisdom and knowledge that we learn with our children, all really contributes to how they are as human beings later in life. And that is a wonderful feeling. You're right. It's magical, wonderful. It's a blessing. And I really felt proud and happy that we were able to come together at different places, meet many people from different cultures.
Yep.
Our children went to school and places and in childcare with many different types of people from every nation
Let me just say
and
yeah,
embassy.
yeah, let me
It
just say
it
one
was
thing that was
nice,
always
very
fun
good.
when I was working at NIH and Mrs. B was interning at the Smithsonian. Sometimes
Yeah, that's
we
what's
would
up.
hustle out in the morning, drop our kids off at the school and daycare, and then take the shuttle, take the metro to our given places and have lunch down at the mall. And I said, and when we would call each other and say, "Where are you at?" And I said, "I'm here, I'm here." And then by lunchtime, we would meet at a given place, a small place right at the National Mall, one of the museums, and have lunch together. And that's the reason why I say it was so magical.
Oh, it was a
We were
remembrance. Yes.
down in at the National Mall having lunch around from 12 to 1 or 1:30, and then have a great time individually as parents,
Yeah.
and then get back on the metro and go back to work
Everybody goes
and go
back.
back
Drive
and then pick
drive
up
the
our
car
kids.
back.
That's the reason why I say it was magical for me.
Oh yeah, it was the Baileys. We really enjoyed our time, and the kids had a wonderful time. Learned so much. I mean, wow, all in one place to learn all that, the history of America,
Yep,
and
it's
how
powerful.
it's powerful. How wonderful it is how our military, U.S. military, supports the
Thank you, veterans.
thank you,
Thank you.
veterans, and defends and protects the USA, as well as allies. I mean, that is extraordinary.
It
It
is.
is powerful. It is amazing. It's excellent. And all of the people that are here in America and around the world to uphold peace and freedom and the history of the founding of the country.
Yes.
through each presidency, but as well as we, the people, the most central, core, important part. And that's what gives us freedom.
DC belongs to the people. The nation's capital belongs to the
Yes.
people. And that's how
Amen.
I felt when living there. It belongs to the people. It belongs
All
to
right.
you and I, and it belongs to me.
Yes. Yes. As citizens and American
As
citizens
citizens,
and people that are part of our ancestry. Oh, how
there you
wonderful,
go.
amazing, and excellent you are.
Ancestors paid the price, and we are benefiting from
Heritages, ancient
their
to
lives
new.
and their history.
Yes.
So once we celebrated that time at the National Mall, and then we jumped in our car, and guess what? We took 395, jumped in 395 south, hit the loop at the right time before rush hour, and then went south on 395, and then hit 95 south. And right along the way, I want to. We stopped at this one place, Mrs. B. We got to mention this one place, this Wawa place. And what was the stop? It was a Washington. What do you say, Mary Washington place?
Well, it used to, remember, we had Wawa in Frederick, Maryland. So
Yeah,
Wawa had all that candy and,
yeah.
and
But
the
the
different types of
particularly no.
foods and fruits that the kids would get for like
What was
five
the stop,
cents.
Mrs. B? The
And
Mary
so,
in
yes,
Virginia, in Virginia.
in Virginia. So as we went further out, we saw the Pentagon, we saw the Veterans Memorial, we saw
Yes,
all
yes.
those
But
wonderful
this
things on the mall.
out that was they were
And
getting outside the loop.
Defense
We were in
Department,
Virginia, going south.
going south, and then we drive into Stafford, Virginia,
Thank you, Stafford,
Embry
Virginia.
Mills.
Thank you.
And we were on the side where they had the new Wawa. They had all these new shops around it. They had several places. They had a McDonald's next to it. Next thing you know, we
That
had
place is
we were
growing. I was
looking around and
surprised.
driving around.
Yeah,
There was Mary Washington
yeah, and they had health care. They
Hospital
had, oh
Center,
my gosh.
Healthy Babies, OBGYN
Yeah.
Center at Mary Washington. They
That
had
place it was
this
never
place
that was
called
not there last time.
Hosa. It was a place called Hosa or I can't recall the names. There was so many different new places. They had the other markets on the other side.
It was a
Um,
Publix grocery
the
store that
previous
was
ones
the
were,
anchor.
yeah, it was Publix, the previous one, and there was Five Guy Burgers on the other side, and they
Yeah,
had been there
but they
before.
have
But
all
then they
these.
have a new section where they
Yeah,
have the Mary Washington, they have the
yeah, the
McDonald's, they have
Mary.
the new Wawa, they have
Yeah.
Turning Point restaurant, they have
Hmm.
also the other different types of food, ethnic foods,
And we're gonna
all
do a
kind of
special
cultures. It
show,
was
by the
really
way,
nice.
on that Wawa deal
Yeah,
too.
on the Wawa,
Yeah.
the
So
turkey
don't say
gobbler.
nothing. Don't say anything. But that was a special stop, and that was Emery Mills, Stafford. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was a delight. Again, finding a place along the way that's safe and has different amenities. Healthy amenities for you
Yes,
when you get on
yes.
the road.
They're healthy choices. You remember that book?
There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Healthy choices.
Of course. And so we got on back on the
Complimentary
I
medicine health.
95 and made great time, and actually only
You
took
wrote it. You wrote it.
4 hours to make it back to Greenville.
Yes,
So
we did.
there you go. That was our road trip from North Carolina, Greenville, Winterville to DC and back.
Yeah. Some folks took the train. It was good for them too. If you want
Yeah,
to go hands
but we
free
wanted to,
and clean
that's fine, that's fine.
bathrooms too
And we're going to do
on
a
the train.
show on the trains as well. But for those of us who still like to drive and take these small road trips,
Yes.
since the gas prices have reduced a
Yes.
bit,
Lower
and
gas
so
prices.
it's okay to take these road trips, and so you don't have to get on the train or definitely not on the plane. Okay, for right now.
Talking about the flight cancellation.
Yeah, the
Still
plane.
get
That's
back
why I'm
up.
saying definitely not the plane right now. But if you want
Open
to take
back
these
up.
road trips, we just provide you
Hey,
some tips along the way.
but the
What?
businesses were still open and still
They
doing
were very much
businesses.
all
Everybody was still going about their business because
definitely.
people were doing what they're going to do. They're not going to let anything get in the way of
Yeah.
continuing their lives, even though they need help in crisis assistance right away. In some cases, whatever the situation is, government shutdown, government open, it's got to get done for the people. We the people.
Well, let me just say the government doesn't shut down the people. The people can shut down the government. But people gonna have fun because it's the holidays, okay? We're just still going to keep on going because I used to work for the government. I
He
know how
can
to
say
deal.
that
I would know how to
because he
deal.
knows that people have the power
Yes.
without any radical
Exactly. You don't have to be all.
negativity or violence or anything like that,
You don't have
but
to be
in
all
civility and
tough
making
on them or something.
making
Just go
their
about your life,
voices
folks.
heard in action to say, hey, senators and representatives, get together.
Get
Let's open this
together.
for business.
It's always a common ground.
And it's
in
always a
life
common
on
ground.
agenda.
You're right.
Find the middle ground, the common ground,
Agreeable.
and get things done.
Get it done.
Period. And most importantly, right now, have fun. This is podcast show number
Yes.
37, Road Trip and Holiday Travel to Washington, D.C. by Dr. B and Mrs. B. Last word for I have to say. Any last words, Mrs. B?
Make it joyous. Have fun. Happy holidays.
Ooh.
Christmas is coming up. You got
Ooh.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Ooh.
Enjoy your life. Stay safe on the travels. Defend
Yes.
and protect. And love each other with civility and care. And make yourselves more approachable to be agreeable with each other.
There you go. Last word I got to say, a few words, is peace out, everyone.
Peace in.
Dr. B and Mrs. B, empty nester lifestyle. Ba-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, la 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 la.